Hello and welcome to Peace or Freedom with the First Lady and Miss Regina. How's everybody today? Yay! Hi, First Lady.
Yay!
So we're going to chat today. We have a little audio issue going on. So wait. Sorry for my hand in the way. My hand is in the way. So Sharon's coming to us via satellite. Scooby-Doo is joining us today. Say hi, Scooby.
I love that. I can't wait to see Scooby in his plane. Both of us have a love for aviation, and so that couldn't be more appropriate. And also for the title today, which is Peace or Freedom. And what I'd like to do, Miss Regina, is to pose a question to the audience and say, what would you rather have? Peace or freedom? And that can be in your relationship, or that can have to do with your career or your job choices. And I'm going to share with you what I would rather. And then as we get people to come on, they can share with us. And then, Ms. Regina, you can maybe share with us with your peace or freedom.
Okay.
So I chose freedom. Okay. Both of them sound amazing. You know, who doesn't want peace? Who doesn't want freedom? But the reason I chose freedom is because within freedom, you have the ability to create peace.
Tell it.
Okay, if you choose freedom, and the first example comes to me is slavery, right? Mm-hmm. Do slaves prefer to be free, or do slaves prefer to have peace? And you'll see some, and I've seen films depicted where slaves get so used to being ruled over that their mindset is in lack and is in slavery, and they don't want to rock the boat. Right. They feel safe, right?
Right.
So they'd rather choose peace than rock the boat. But I challenge freedom. Be who you are, own your own time. Let no man determine your destiny, and then within that, you'll find peace.
I like that.
That sounds good, right?
That sounds really good, and it's really true.
And I don't think it's a question that people ask themselves, but as you're building towards success, or you're even building in a relationship, you need to talk to yourself first before you get involved in a career that is going to span for the next 20 years, or a relationship that you would like to span for the next 20 years. When you look in the mirror, you say, do I want to just have peace? You know, he's talking to me and he's kind of belittling me, or, he's getting a stick in it. It's kind of a burn,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to hold my tongue because I prefer peace in the home. Mm-hmm. This job, I want to just call in dead. Like, I've used all my sick time. I don't have anything left. I don't want to rock the boat because I have benefits, and, but you're not free. You feel like a slave to that job because you're not really happy. You've settled. You've decided to settle. Mm-hmm. And so that's how it can affect you in your relationship. And I think that is the beginning of, in the beginning, because we're talking about a blueprint and we're taking people to success. We're talking about bringing people out of depression, but you really have to have a serious conversation with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
before you get started to make these choices. Because what are we? We're just an accumulation of the choices we made.
Yes.
So we can't play the blame game.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
That was one thing I did say when I decided to choose freedom over peace in the corporate world. When I chose to walk away from a 6-figure job, and I said, well, I have enough suits, I have enough shoes. I was traveling everywhere. I was sick all the time physically, but I had to still work because I had obligations and the benefits and the pay and the demands of the job. Your customers are counting on you. I can't let them down. You're the first person that has stuck in this position for as long as they can remember. I would hear that. People would just leave because they would get so burnt out. So they would say, oh, you're the first consultant that I've had for, you know, longer than a week or longer than 6 months. And it meant a lot. And so I had to finally choose freedom over peace. The peace of, yes, I had a great income. I had benefits. I had a job to go to. I had, you know, clients who valued my service to them. But then on the other hand, the company didn't care about my physical needs. They didn't care. Yeah, they didn't care if I wasn't happy. They just wanted results, and they were revenue driven instead of people driven, like they would try to portray as being people, service, profit. But they were just the opposite. They were profit, service people. And they failed to realize that their biggest asset is their their employees. The human resources is their number one asset, and they didn't appreciate any of us. So I finally had to make a decision, and I talked to myself, and I talked to my higher authority, and I said, what do I want to do? And my higher authority still didn't answer me. I had to make that decision. My human self had to say, you either do it or you don't do it. But the higher authority that I serve, I know the word says faith without works is dead. My sister used to say that. And I did tap into a spiritual guider, and she said, I was telling her about my decision. It was a radio talk show. And I called in, and Dr. Ramona from in the Midwest, and I asked her, like, what should I do? She couldn't answer me either, but she said, God will use your gifts and talents at the appointed time.
Okay.
So that helped a lot, because I said, well, I have to just walk on faith and not by sight. You either, you know, you grow your wings on the way down sometimes. And I had to let that comfort zone
on the way down.
Yes. I had to let that comfort zone, that peace that I thought I had with the cush job, go and be free to do what I wanted. Because I said, well, if I start my own company, if I fail, I did it. I can't blame anyone else. Like, you can blame the company, you can blame the other people that work with you. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, but it still fell on me at the end of the day. And I had to apologize for someone else's mistakes. So I said, well, if I have my own company, it'll be me who succeeds or me who fails. So I chose freedom over peace. It wasn't an easy decision. A lot of times I second guessed myself. But at the end of the day, I would do the same thing again. I would choose freedom over peace. That's my testimony for going forward. It won't be easy, but you can do it.
Yeah, and I thank you for that, because it's scary. It is actually, it's like we're being taught, our generation, we are just behind the millennials, okay? Our generation, we didn't have computers like they do now at such an early age, the exposure of so many outside things and, you know, seeing things and technology. So the people who are coming up, and you made a good point when we were talking before, how the millennials confer with their peers rather than their authorities. Remember we touched on that a little bit?
Yes, I remember.
Conversation before.
Yes.
Where we were saying millennials, our children talk to one another before they would consult an authority. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Regina?
Yes, I do. That is true. They do.
Uh-oh, hello, are you there?
I hear you. Can you hear me? Please stand by. I hear you.
See if you can call me back if you can hear me.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Miss First Lady.
I'm traveling, just to throw that out there, guys. I'm traveling. I'm not able to come to you in a video opportunity today, but Thank you for being so gracious as we, work through this audio. But what I was saying was, what Ms. Regina and I were talking about earlier outside of this lab was how millennials confer with one another rather than their with the peers rather than people over them. And you know why that is? I'm telling you, there is a change going on where kids used to look up to their parents. They used to see their parents as more intelligent. They used to see their parents as the standard. Mm-hmm. And because technology has taken off in such a way that you have to ask your children how to, hey, I got this new phone. Can you help me, 10-year-old? Hey, they don't trust our opinion anymore in a myriad of things. So I want everybody to try to wrap their minds around the change that's happening, okay? So when you're talking about freedom and peace, our generation is caught up in, I'm going to work somewhere for 20 years.
Right.
I'm going to work somewhere until I retire. Mm-hmm. That has gone the way of the dodo, everybody.
Yep.
Okay? If you have, and I'm sure this sounds familiar to people, but if you haven't heard it, I want you to think about it. And, when Ms. Regina and I get together, we would love for you to have pencil and paper ready so you can jot some of these things down and think about them. And so when you do rejoin us, you can ask us about what we've covered.
Right.
Is it true and how it played out in your life or what you experienced?
Mm-hmm. I got mine because I take notes all the time.
You need to start making different choices if you're planning on being around for the next 20 years. Okay? Because what we've been trained to do is not working anymore. But the target market that we're trying to sell to, or that you're trying to, because I believe we're all employed, and maybe we're not listening, but your client with the money are these millennials. Mm-hmm. So you have a new obstacle to overcome, and that is gain their trust. Because they're going to come in there knowing the numbers and knowing that you are the age of their mom, and their mom doesn't know how to even work her own phone.
Right.
So I'm a little off topic there, but again, peace over. I'm just trying to help you understand that choose freedom, choose entrepreneurship. I'm not saying anything is wrong with going to college and getting an education, but when I came up, that was the only plan. We were being taught to be entrepreneurs. Right. We were being taught power tie, power suit, power resume, and then you go in there and you get an executive, you get a 6-figure job, but keep in mind, you're working for someone.
Exactly.
It's not power suit, power job, okay, now you're a sole proprietor. No.
Right. You're still punching that clock. But that's not even off topic. It's on topic because the kids are choosing freedom over peace.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They're choosing freedom to ask their peers instead of the authority figure to keep the peace. And I sometimes get a little offended when my son gets agitated when he's 11 and he has to teach me things. And I think I know a lot about, tech things, but he has to come in and say, this is how you do it. And instead of him just telling me how to do it, he'll just do it. And he'll go, and here, take your phone. And I'm like, wait, what did you just do? I want to know what you did so I can know what to do the next time when you're out doing something else. You're not here. And he'll get so like, okay, so he'd rather be free than keep the peace with me because I'm still going to be in his ear about, wait, show me again. So he'd rather exercise his freedom to do it his way and to consult his peers than keeping the peace and, okay, I'm going to keep mom quiet and I'm going to just do it her way. So he knows I'm going to be in his ear about it.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. He was on last night about, being the next big YouTuber, right? That's like their thing. And I had made him cry almost because I said, that's a big dream. It's like the NBA. Everybody in basketball, they want to be the next NBA star. But what if they get hurt or they don't get drafted? Then what do they have to fall back on? They need an education. That's why they go to school. They get the education so they can have a job to get. And he goes, you don't believe in me. You know, he got the waterworks going and stuff. And I had to say, yeah, I had to say, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to have plan A and plan B and plan C, not just plan A. So even though we believe that, you know, you have to have more than just a job at the end of the day, we are thinking big for you all, because we know we've done the job and we've done the entrepreneurship, and we're telling you that you can do both and eventually do one or the other. But to have freedom to exercise that choice is huge. It's huge.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what money allows you to do.
Yes.
Money allows you to choose.
Yes.
So when you don't have money, someone's making those choices for you.
Right.
But if you have the money to choose, you have your freedom. And I have to tell you, I value my time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you and I coming together here and pouring into whomever's listening, or, you know, these are going to be recorded, and at some point, you know, the catalog, and people will come back and listen, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, they were talking about that in 2016, early spring.
Exactly.
You know,
and piggybacking on the money, sometimes the money won't be there, and you have to match the money that you have while being free. So you can't get scared and run back to, you know, the man, so to speak. And that could be a number of things. It could be the man, a man, the man being the job, a man being the man you have to walk away from because you weren't free. You know, that was peace. Maybe it was peace. Maybe it was not peace. So you have to make choices, even with limitations, and not be afraid. I read something that said a lot of times we pick the easy way because, you know, that's easy and it's comfortable, and that's what we know. So don't be afraid to take the road less traveled, because, because as our motto says, what? No pressure,
no diamonds.
No diamonds. And that's a story for another day. You got to think about that.
Push them to our Facebook on that one.
Yes, go to our Facebook page.
You have an opportunity, I think, to type on the blast. So you want to push them to the Facebook. But you were saying about having to go back. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you think about your freedom, so you have a job, okay, you don't want to be in survival mode. You don't want to be, everybody knows you need gas and things like that. But while you're in survival, get a plan together so you can get free.
Right.
You know, get a job, just like Miss Regina said, and then make your plan to get free. We have the plan for you to get free. Both she and I are free.
Yes.
And we are free, and we have peace.
Yes,
so now we can pick and choose what we want to do because we value ourselves.
Correct.
We determine value. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying correct. I can't type right now, so I'm sorry. I had to move, had to move the camera, but we're at we can mention that at the end once more.
Sure.
We value our freedom and we value our peace.
Because of the change we're going through, you know, I have two sons, and one is a world changer.
I love it.
A game changer. And I specifically call them out and confess that over their lives because my youngest is a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's the one who's coding. He's the one who cares about technology. My eldest son is a world changer because he is into service.
Yes.
He wants to help people. He's in the medical field, you know. So he's a world changer.
Mm-hmm.
And they are so closely knit together. But we better open our eyes, our age group, people who are listening, or even younger, because now you have a great opportunity to get your education. Now it's even at the house. People's education is at the house. You know, you can, all these Phoenix University. We went to brick and mortar university.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So now these kids are working at home. They are becoming millionaires where they're flying to their vacation.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a hold of that lifestyle, there's still time to do it. You got to change your mindset.
You have to change your mindset, yes.
People are, let me tell you about loyalty, because the people that you're working for, They are on their way. They appreciate you about this much. I know you can't see me. And they're on their way to their vacation. You're affording them a lifestyle that you want. And although the lifestyle you have isn't bad and you're making it, but I guarantee you, you don't have 3 to 6 months money in the bank.
Exactly.
You don't.
You have to take care of yourself. And that goes back to making choices that will benefit you tomorrow and the next year and the next year, not just today.
Right, right.
Taking charge of your financial freedom. Financial freedom is huge. So you're not tied to that job that you hate. Or you know you have a skill and a talent where you can do more with. I really admire the people who are out here in the subways who are working their craft. They're musicians and they refuse to do anything other than play music. And they will take tips all day long, but they are free and they have peace. So you can have the peace and the freedom at the same time.
That's right. And a number or a dollar sign does not determine that, right?
It doesn't determine that. Nope.
It's a personal decision.
Exactly. I mean, it really helps. Don't get us wrong. Money helps a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
It helps. It's mandatory to survive.
Yes, ma'am.
But don't let that be your sole focus, because if you're sick, how can you spend money? Because you're too busy being sick, right? Or if it goes out on some junk as soon as you buy it, you're paying money to buy the next Gucci. Gucci could care less about you, or Coach. You got the next Coach bag because it's the thing. They could care less about you buying their next purse. They can't wait to make another one so you can buy the next one. Okay? So you know what you can do with that $2,000 or $200? You can save it, invest it, and watch it grow. Everyone wants immediate gratification, and they want to keep up with the Joneses. So they will say, well, I'm going to get this Coach, but I'm going to eat ramen noodles. Eat ramen noodles if you're working for yourself, not because you got to save money to buy a Coach.
Right.
Is that crazy or what?
Yes.
And I'm not hating it. When I have the cash like that, and I still do, I choose where to put my money. I have a son. I have my future to think about. I have my business to invest. I can go back. If I ever wanted to say, you know what, forget being an entrepreneur. It's not for me anymore. Let me go back, and it's like the Hebrews going back to Egypt. Because,
what a wonderful example.
Yeah, because it's easy. Okay, I got beat every day, but at least I got, bread and water.
Mentality we started talking about.
Exactly. So, sharing it.
Wow, that's so wonderful that we can tie it biblically, which we love to do.
We love to do that. So we're going to share our journeys with you. We're going to tell you all some things that we've done along the way to get where we are, so you don't think that we don't understand where you might be. And we want you to know that we did it and you can do it too. And don't be afraid. We're here for you.
And can I say my closing statement, which I love to say?
Yes.
Remember, you are spirit on this living a human experience. You are spirit on a human experience. If you can wrap your mind around that and not let emotions take control and not let sickness take hold of your body, we'll see you on the next blast.
Thanks for joining us, and visit our Facebook page. No pressure, no diamonds. Bye, y'all.